Good afternoon and welcome to our weekly women's volleyball press conference. We will start the press conference with an opening statement from head coach Tyler Hildebrand. Then we'll open it up to questions for coach from the media.
Thanks, Lindy. Here we are. It's been a long time in the making, and we have the Big West tournament obviously this week at home, and we're excited to not just kick off the inaugural Big West tournament, but we're excited to compete with everything on the line. And it's been a season full of, a lot of tests and a lot of challenges. And so, we feel prepared, but we also know that, there's a lot of teams playing well right now, and we're going to have to bring our best. So we're excited about the opportunity and dealing with, we got conference call today, and trying to figure out all the rules and how it all goes. So it's similar to like NCAA tournament or the Olympics, where it's not a normal week. There's different stuff, the schedule, you have different practice times. Us as a staff are trying to figure out all kinds of different things that we're not used to. So, but we've all been through this quite a bit. Our players haven't been through much postseason, so it'll be our job to try to lead and guide them through it a little bit and keep them focused on each other and playing the best volleyball they can.
Coach, you had a 1-1 week. Tuesday was great at UC San Diego. Looked good there, and then at Hawaii, got a set. But I'm sure there are, you could say maybe sets left out there. Could you talk about your team's performance last week heading into this one?
Up 18-9. We should close that one out. Yeah. Yeah, we obviously came out really strong, and we weren't necessarily playing super lights out. We went on a great serving run, and we're doing some good things. But they kind of came out a lot like it was eerily like Cal Poly. We were serving great, playing great defense and blocking, but they were just whacking balls out of bounds. Cal Poly did the same thing. So I don't know what the scores were. It was maybe 11-3 or 11-2 or something, and Cal Poly was 15-2, and so we lost both those in 4. But the crowd started getting into it once they got 3 or 4 points, and their crowd was fired up. I've played a lot. I've played probably 30, 35, 40 matches there, and that was one of the loudest I've heard them. And they were, I think, fired up for their seniors and Amber especially. And so, we didn't pull that one out, and then we were up 21-19 in the second and didn't pull that one out. Then played great in the third, and then didn't play great in the fourth. But we saw a lot of improvement. Savannah got served almost every ball and passed great, and she was tough and struggled a little bit early and then came out of it and was really a stud. So she's been playing great and building confidence. So that was a great confidence builder for her. Hannah had a good game. A number of players played great. Elise hit 400 again, and Natalie. It's not just that Natalie hasn't played in over 3 weeks. She hasn't practiced in over 3 weeks. So for her to go out and have 13 jump serves and only miss 1 and really put a lot of pressure on Hawaii attacking and jump serving was a good sign. So we're happy she's back, and I can now say, barring anything, we expect her to be with us this week. So,
on behalf of Taryn Rodriguez from IE Sports Radio, we have a couple questions. Some of the sets you've lost in the past couple of weeks have been by 2 or in overtime. What must your team do in order to prevent sets from coming down to the wire?
I'm glad you brought that up. We talked about that in our meeting today. 6 of our last 9 sets, which are teams we will, if we beat Irvine, we'll play this weekend. 6 of those 9 sets have been deuce games and or overtime. So we want to take that as a little bit of a positive, because we don't feel like we've played very well. Obviously, we're really proud of Livy. It's pretty unbelievable how awesome she's done, and we love her. And she's, from out of nowhere, played a different position and hit 340. She went off. So proud of her, but she's not Natalie, who is as good as anyone on the right, I think, in our conference. And so some of that was, we don't have Natalie, and some of it is that, we got to find ways to score points or be 2 points better. But we're taking positive out of it, because we're certainly not playing our best volleyball the last 2 weeks. And to be away at these teams that are playing great, and not be playing our best and still lose. Almost most of our sets we've lost have been 2 points. Is a good sign that we're hanging in there even when we're on the road and not playing our best. So yeah, this week is about finding fine-tuning some things, finding belief, getting comfortable, and trying to be fresh and play in front of a home crowd, hopefully.
On that, what do you think the team could do to prevent, or could have done to prevent, the first and second set losses against Hawaii, as well as the close set losses against Cal Poly?
Yeah. For us, the theme is the same. It takes a lot of things to win points. So, we're not one of the better teams. We don't feel like we're a good team because we're a great blocking team only, or a great offensive team, or we set 2 people, So, death by 1,000 paper cuts, as we've said. I mean, we have to have a lot of things go right for us to win points, and we're really, really good when that happens, and we're not great when it doesn't. And so, if you look at all those sets, and there's a number of different things. So we were struggling middle of the year, early of the year, starting sets. If you guys remember, we were getting down like 5-1, 5-1, 6-1. And Hannah had a great quote. I was like, well, what do you guys think we should do? And I was like, well, we should look at video and find the problem. And I'm like, well, on this match, it was those 5 things that resulted in those 5 different things and those 5 different points. Then it was these 5 things, and so we know that about our team. It takes a lot for us to be good and to score points. And so I guess it's the same answer I've been given, but, there wasn't much different. Hawaii, I texted their coach and said, happy for you guys that they ended up, they haven't been playing their best volleyball either, and they played their best volleyball against us that night. I mean, they were on fire. And, crowd was rolling, and they were making a lot of little plays that we kept blocking them. They kept covering, and then all these little big, and that's why we beat Texas. And when we beat them here, we got those plays, and so that's probably part of it. Is they started getting some momentum in their crowd, and they were making a lot of little plays, and then we weren't, and that can happen on the road, and it's tough to combat that. So you got to play better to not let it be up to that, and we didn't quite play good enough.
Coach, being around a lot of great teams and teams that have had postseason experience, have you seen this where your team may not have had anything to do with maybe not playing as well down the stretch, which every coach wants to be playing their best at the end of the season, but go into the final week knowing that you haven't played your best volleyball, maybe not have had your 100% team, and you probably won't, but what can you do this week to focus on that?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about injuries, and we've had so many injuries this year. It's hard to even pinpoint which ones mattered more. I mean, we've just had people out nonstop, and so, we've prepared since January for this week mentally. Mentally, with how we trained, with how we scheduled, with everything, we've prepared to feel like we'd put the work in, that we've earned the right to believe that we can win. Not that we will win, and these teams aren't as good as us, and we know that they're as good as us. And so, but we prepared that we've prepared all years since January to try to have earned the right to feel confident that we've been tested, and ultimately, once it becomes postseason time, you got to go out there and lay it on the line for your team and for yourself, and go out there and try to play free and compete. And so, again, our players don't have, they have in juniors, but I don't think any of them have postseason experience on the court anyway. And so I at least played, I think, a little bit with back row with Oregon, but that's about it. But we have a lot, as a coaching staff, we have a lot of postseason. So it's our job to try to find a way to get them confident and focused on volleyball and each other, and finishing a long journey that we've been on, and we're really proud of them. And I wouldn't say it's like, okay, we're going into the tournament without playing our best volleyball. It's just we're in the matches feeling pretty confident, and we didn't quite play as good as we could. Again, statistically now is the best opposite in the conference, so it's a big deal not having her, and it changes a lot. And even though Livy played so well, it's still just a different, her serve is, she's the best serve in the conference. So some of it's that, but no, I think it's our job to try to minimize the distractions, get them fired up, get them focused, and get a chance to go out there and try to play our best volleyball. We're kind of excited about playing an extra match. You got to try to find a way to be excited about it. But there's a long history of like people that get buys. Sometimes that's good, and sometimes that can go against you. And sometimes you get a good win under your belt. You have a little momentum going into the next match. So we're excited about playing Irvine and trying to, it's win or go home now. So we gotta deal with Irvine, and we'll start prep on them tomorrow.
Speaking of excitement, speaking of getting fired up, can you talk about the fans trying to be able to get here on a weekday game?
Yeah, I mean, we also play at 4:00, so it's just the way seating went, and so we're at 4 both Wednesday, and if we win, we're on Friday as well. Or Irvine will be playing Santa Barbara on Friday at 4. So it's a little bit earlier, but most people I don't think are working, and so we've had incredible turnout. We've been very appreciative of our fans all year. It's been a really fun year, and the pyramid has been rocking, and we've done as much marketing as we can for it. I think everybody knows about it. So we need you guys. We need you to come support us. You've seen we play great when you guys come here. We play great for you, and you're like our, what would it be called? 7th, 8th man, 8th woman, whatever it is. And, it's a big deal. So anyone that listens, hopefully you guys show up and support us because, Big West tournament, and we're ready to rock.
Speaking of hosting the tournament here at Long Beach, you guys closed out the season on the road, or the regular season on the road. What does that mean for you guys to be back home in the Walter Pyramid hosting the tournament?
It's great. It's first time ever we're having the tournament, which is what our conference really needs because of the amount of teams that we don't get in or do get in. And the fact that we were able to host it is a big deal, and appreciate Tiffany Edlin and for being in that meeting and making that happen, because if she didn't volunteer it, I think it wouldn't have started till next year. And so, we've been playing better at home. So it's great, but I think it's a great thing for us to host as well for the conference, because this is a relatively easy place to get to for a lot of teams. Obviously not Hawaii, but it's hard for them to get anywhere, right, except home. So, we're accessible, and there's going to be a fan base here of volleyball, not just for Long Beach State. And I think, we've always had that, and so that'll be important. Every time there's a Final Four here or whatever, everybody shows every time there's a national team match here, it's packed. And so I think it's a great place to host for that reason, is that everyone there'll be just the regular volleyball fan here as well. And so hopefully people just take Thanksgiving and show up around Thanksgiving for the tournament. But it's special, and we're appreciative of Tiffany and our administration for making it happen. And we're excited to host. I'm sure there'll be mistakes and things that we got to fix as first-time hosts, but we'll learn from it. And the Big West tournament's here to stay, and it's a big deal for our conference.
And how is the team feeling going into this week?
Yeah, great. I mean, it's hard to lose 3 out of 4 matches. Just you want to win, especially losing again 6 of the 9 sets we lost were deuce. But maybe with other teams I would be more worried or this or that. But we've been pretty tested, I think, over the last 2 years, and have built belief. And that doesn't mean we're going to achieve what we want to achieve this week. It's going to be up to how we can bring it together on Wednesday and hopefully Friday, Saturday. But I'm not worried about how they feel, because I think they're going to, we prepared for 11 months for this. And so they're going to be ready and feel good. And I'm pretty confident that we're gonna play, our brand of volleyball, win, lose, or draw. And we're proud of them either way, but I'm confident that we're gonna find a little groove and find some magic and play our best volleyball. So,
thank you, Coach.
Thank you.